And it's really important to really know what you have that you're giving and presenting to whoever this is, that you've got a lot to offer and you're not messing around and you're not here to play games. So I'm really feeling this energy strongly in this reading. Hello Scorpio, and welcome to Divine Goddess Tarot. My name is Jessica, and this is your weekly zodiac reading. And of course, this is for your sun, moon, and rising, as well as your Venus. So make sure to check out all the videos that are in those signs, so you can have a clear picture of the energies and the messages that are for you. So let's get to it and see, what messages are coming through to you this week. This will be your overall energy, intuitive communication, silent whispers of the heart. I love that. And that has a lot to do with Mercury retrograde, I'm feeling, since it is the planet of communication and what we all are experiencing now with showing us where we get to communicate better. Initiate, curiosity, open, and warm. I love that card. I actually never put that one on this one deck before, so beautiful. A lot of fours here too. So you've got 43 and 14. Tenderness, love, and compassion. Beautiful. This will be from your guides, your angels, goddesses, and gods, as well as demons and devil energy, because after all, they all support us in our growth on this platform. The resistance. This one is going to be tips and tricks. That's what has been coming out the entire week's reading. That one right there to assist us with this. Energy healing from the past. So, wow, that couldn't be any more Mercury retrograde, right? So let's define these messages through tarot to see what's coming through. Make sure that anything that doesn't resonate, just put it on the top shelf. And what does, is your messages. So Hangman. There, actually, I'm feeling those other. So we've got Six of Swords, Four of Wands, and King of Wands energy. And your higher self, the Hierophant, of course. First, right? Ace of Pentacles, right there. Nine of Pentacles. 10 of Cups, beautiful. 5 of Swords. 4 of Swords. Chariot. 7 of Pentacles. And Ace of Cups. Okay. So, definitely, whatever the situation is, if you're dealing with someone, either love or, I'm feeling it's more of a love situation, there's communication, but it feels like it's just slowed down, or there's not a whole lot of communication, or there's just this energy that is just very, very, very soft right now. The Hangman energy is not a whole lot of forward momentum. In fact, it can be also looking at something from a different perspective, and perhaps not making any moves quite yet. So I'm feeling like that there's a pause, whether it be your pause or their pause. There's not a whole lot of forward momentum, or it's very slow in coming. And that's actually not so bad. With the Six of Swords here, it's moving forward into calmer waters. I don't know if there's been some conflict or anything like that, or it's just some rough waters that you've had. You do have the Five of Swords over here. So there could be it could be inner turmoil. It could be something that you're definitely moving away from. You're not playing games anymore. So I do love that energy, because that's kind of what Mercury retrograde does for us. It pulls up unearths what's hidden below that hasn't been healed, ways of working, games that we've played that just are no longer serving us in our life. And I'm really feeling that communicating this aspect of ourselves is so important that we're just not playing games. We're just going to lay down swords. We're not moving forward with buying into this drama. And when we do that, you've got the Four of Wands here, which really creates this can symbolize marriage, but I'm an intuitive reader, so I'm feeling more of this is foundational. Fours can mean more like a foundation, something that's really stable and strong. And when we don't play games, when we really have a different perspective of things, we have good, solid forward momentum that's without all the drama. We do create good stability. And that's where that King of Wands energy comes in, of really having foresight of what we're creating in our life, really getting solidly planted, Scorpio, into knowing what we want. And sometimes through retrograde of all of this very heavy energy and this push energy that pushes away what no longer is serving us, we really get clear on what we're creating. And now, right now, it could feel not quite so clear, especially going into the retrograde, but just know to hang tough and perhaps no sudden momentum. Hang there, get a different perspective and move forward, but get clear. And then when we do communicate things with this of silent whispers of the heart, perhaps when we choose to communicate, we communicate in such a way that's very clear, decisive, and knowing what we want in simple terms, and it has a much bigger impact and a much bigger message. So with going from that to our higher or future self, it's saying, and the message is initiate, curiosity, open, and warm. So I'm really feeling that your higher self really wants you to be bold enough to initiate communication, be warm, be loving, but really tap into that King of Wands energy regarding having the foresight of what you want to really relay. And if that's, it's something from the heart, it's profound. It's something that's not buying into the games that are being played. It's not buying into the dramas. It's just being really solid. And so with the Hierophant, it's just exactly that. Your natural knowing, your intuition of really putting forward that wisdom of the sages of, I'm not playing games here anymore. I'm going to just I'm going to be vulnerable. I'm going to put myself out there, but willing and wily. She's got a little squirrel right there in the tree. And I'm just hearing that wily, coyote, squirrely type energy of, I'm gonna plant my nuts where I want them, and I'm gonna do this thing. I'm going to do me, and if you want to join, great. And if not, that's okay. And I'm really just feeling that really independent, strong energy that you've got something to offer, and take it or leave it. And because you're not playing games. And when you do this, you get a beautiful, this is success. You're not quite there, but you're standing in your own power of all that you have to offer. And that's really important, to really know what you have that you're giving and presenting to whoever this is, that you've got a lot to offer, and you're not messing around, and you're not here to play games. So I'm really feeling this energy strongly in this reading. But with all of that is the tenderness. So your guides are saying, even though you've got all this strength, because a Scorpio's, my rising is Scorpio, so I know that we have this ability to really put that strength forward. And I believe this has been in your readings for a while. But be careful of your stinger. Like we've got to deliver this message in that softness, in that way that doesn't put up walls and barriers, and doesn't come across as arrogance, but just really good, solid confidence of knowing what you have to offer. And that tenderness, love, and compassion, that's where we don't miss the boat. That's where we don't miss the mark of where we're trying to aim. Because when we deliver our message in softness and love and tenderness, it is our power. It's not, this is all, it doesn't come across as arrogance. We don't want that. And when we do that, we truly get this energy. It is the ending and the beginning of beautiful things, of union, of partnership, because we're coming with a full cup. And if that person is worthy of that cup, they will have the same. And I don't mean worthy, I mean you want someone who has a full cup to offer you too, who knows their worth as well. You're not having to fill their cup. Remember, I love, my partner always says that he is the ice cream, I am the ice cream, and we are the sprinkles and the syrup to each other. We're the whipped cream and all the yummy stuff that's on top. But the base is we are ice cream. We are already something yummy and delightful, and our cup is full. We just add all the beautiful extras to each other. And that is what our harmonious partnership really does. We don't fill each other's cup of ice cream. We are just sprinkles. So I love that. Again, you've got this, your guides and your 5D support is really, we're not playing games no more. We're not playing any more of these stupid games. We are laying down arms or walking away from things that don't serve us, that don't have the same reciprocity. When we feel stuck, I'm also feeling the Four Swords energy. When this Mercury in retrograde energy really stirs up a lot of stuff, it's time to go within. It's stop taking action, stop talking. It's time to lay down and stop fighting. And I really feel that that's where you'll get your answers for whatever is for you next. So this week, that energy could be really kind of, I guess, roller coaster-ish or whiplash-ish. Feels great, feels bad, feels great. So when it's feeling bad, go within. Healing from the past. So tips and tricks. This is definitely what Mercury is all about, is rolling up things that haven't fully healed yet, wounds perhaps. And what I do love is that you've arrived. You really have done a lot of healing from whatever these energies are. So there's a lot of success in here. You've arrived in that. You have, with the sphinxes here, they're aimed in two different directions. So you really always have a choice of going off in a different direction if you choose, if something isn't working for you. So really tap into the energy of getting really clear with the King of Wands energy, of having clarity and only moving when you know when that is. This has been coming up a lot, Seven of Pentacles, and is the juice worth the squeeze? Are we making sure that the relationships and the things that we're choosing, I really feel the theme of this Mercury retrograde is what we're putting our energy into. What are we putting our focus into? Is it giving us the return of the energy we're putting into it? Now I say this with an addition. When you're first starting a business or you're starting something new, there is sometimes that delay of gratification of when you get to harvest. So know that. It's not instant gratification. We live in a world that wants that very much so. But a lot of times you've got to put in the work before you do see that. But if this is something that you've been putting work into for quite some time and you're not seeing a return in reciprocity in a relationship, or you haven't seen the analytics in your business to see where change is deserved, it's sometimes just about moving the needle of where you're putting your energy or advertising or where you're investing. So just have a look at that, and that's what Mercury retrograde is all about, is really looking at what's working and what isn't. And when you do, the Ace of Cups is here. Healing from the past. I'm really feeling that a lot of emotion full of emotion, kind of overflowing with emotion. And that's okay. Really, when we're feeling that way, go within, get some rest, take the time for yourself. And if it means getting out in nature before we start getting, cooler weather, or the cooler weather will be quite nice actually. I sometimes wonder about summer. I'm like, it's so hot, you don't want to go outside. But perhaps in the evening times or early in the morning when it's a little cooler, to really ground into nature and connect so that we can let that energetic momentum flow through our bodies and ground into the earth. It could be really beneficial at this time with Mercury going retrograde. There's different things you can do to assist in that, but getting in nature, I'm really hearing that a lot, especially with the nature here with the tree. There's just so much. I didn't mean to flash those too fast for you, but everything I'm feeling is really connect to earth and ground into when you are feeling a little lost in all this beautiful, heavy, transformative energy. So, and that is the embodiment of Scorpio, is transformation. We are always transforming, and we are the kind of the pinnacle of that example of constant renewing ourselves and moving into something new, dying and being reborn. And so that is the energy we embody. So keep up the great work. You're doing so great, and I hope you loved your reading for this week and all the tips and tricks that go along with it to navigate through this energy. So love you, appreciate you, and I'll see you next week. Bye.